Welcome to the Slut Next Door podcast, where we dive deep into desire, unravel kinks and fetishes, and explore the deliciously naughty side of self-discovery. I'm Beatrix Vale, an erotic audio creator, and your guide to all things kinky and curious. So let's begin. Maybe for you, there's something about the word mommy that stirs something inside of you. Maybe it makes you squirm. Maybe it makes you melt. Or maybe you're not sure why it gets to you, but it does. Or maybe you're just curious about why grown men like to call women mommy or their mommy dom, or you have no clue what that even means. Today's episode is a personal one. I'm pulling back the curtain and inviting you deeper into my world to share what it truly means to be an internet mommy, a mommy dom. This isn't just a kink. It can be a connection, a power dynamic rooted in warmth, structure, and surrender. And if you've ever found yourself craving praise, aching for approval, or needing someone to guide you, hold you, even own you, you might be more into this than you think. Now, before we dive in, make sure that you follow or subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss a moment. And if you're listening on YouTube, leave a comment. Tell me what mommy means to you. And you can find more of me, my hypnotic audios, and all the ways to connect deeper at missbeatrix.com. So get cozy, lie back, and let mommy show you why this title is so much more than a name. It's who I am. Now, I think I've always been this way. I can think back to when I was little and I loved baby dolls, not just playing with them, but caring for them. I'd tuck them in, rock them gently, feed them, whisper little bedtime stories like I was already someone's mommy. And that maternal instinct didn't grow with me. It was already there. Even blooming when I was little. I didn't have to learn it. It's just who I am. And I've never been the loud, commanding type. I'm not the kind of dominant who yells to get what she wants. I'm soft-spoken, steady, and calm. But I am confident. And I can think back and I've always liked to be in charge, but quietly, sweetly, and just completely. Even now, I guide with the same nurturing dominance I can see in my past jobs and relationships. I think about also my dog, Lucy. I don't yell at her when she does something wrong. I train her with love, with consistency, and with positive reinforcement. And she absolutely thrives in that structure. She listens. She wants to please me because I think she knows I lead with love and safety. And honestly, that's a lot like the dynamic I have with many of you. So when I started doing online sex work, I couldn't stay away from the mommy kink if I tried. It just kept finding me, or maybe I was calling it in without even realizing. But I wasn't role playing something I didn't understand. It felt like I was stepping into something that felt natural, organic, and honest. And the first time that someone called me mommy in a kinky way, oh my gosh, it was so thrilling. I remember it clearly, actually. And my body just reacted instantly. And I thought, oh my God, yes, that's who I am. And it didn't just turn me on, it fit. And now being called mommy isn't just about power, though that's definitely part of it. I see it as more about also trust and about knowing someone sees you as their guide, their comfort, and like the center of gravity. And when that trust is handed over in such an intimate and vulnerable way, how could I not fall in love with this role? So, being your internet mommy was never really a calculated brand move or a persona I put on. I can say with a lot of confidence, it's the truest, deepest expression of who I've always been: soft, strong, in control, and completely devoted to the ones who kneel for me. And I know not everyone's into the mommy dom kink, and that's completely okay. I've had men reach out to me and say, I love your voice, I love your work, but I'm not really into the mommy stuff. And you know what? That's completely valid. And I'm not here to like convince anyone to like something they don't feel drawn to. But I do think there's a misconception about what the mommy dom archetype really is. I think some people hear the word mommy and immediately picture something like full on age regression, like diapers or pretending to be a child. And while those things can absolutely be someone's kink, that's not what mommy means to me. That's not what I would say most of my submissives are craving. Mommy in this space is about a power dynamic. And it's about feeling cared for, seen, corrected, and claimed. And I think at its core, the dynamic blends warmth with control. And I think that's why it hits so deeply. A mommy dom doesn't just tell you what to do, she guides you, nurtures you, and makes you feel safe enough to surrender fully. And for many submissives, I think it's the first time that they might have felt permission to be soft, to be vulnerable, and, just stop pretending they're okay when they're not. And I find that a lot of men, especially men that are raised to be like stoic and self sufficient, always in control, I think they have this secret aching desire to let go. And mommy gives them that outlet. I hear a lot from good boys that they just love being told they've done a good job and how deeply they crave that approval, and also how just being called a sweet boy undoes them in ways that they can't even explain. And I think it's like I'm reaching into some part of them that maybe perhaps never got the affection they needed and giving it to them with intention. But it's not just about tenderness. There's also there also can be like a wickedness to it. The mix of soft and strict that some like. This doesn't always have to apply. Like if you're into Mommy Domme, it doesn't always have to be strict. Sometimes it's just soft, and that's okay. But some men really like that mix of sweet and cruel. And you can find yourself with your pants down and at the same time your heart wide open and also your brain melting as mommy tells you exactly what you're good for and exactly who you belong to. That's the intoxicating part, I think. The paradox. The very thing that I think makes this kink so powerful. And I think that's why so many submissives maybe don't even realize they're into Mommy Dom until they hear the right voice say it in the right way. Because when someone calls you a good boy and means it, when someone says something like, you know, that's it, baby. Just listen to mommy now. And maybe you feel your whole body submit. And that's not just role play, that's recognition. And something inside of you might light up and say, oh my God, yes, this is what I've been needing. So if you are listening and you're thinking, I'm really not into mommy kink, and that's totally fine, but maybe it's not what you thought it was. My point is, it's not about age play, especially in my world. Sometimes it's just about softness and structure, surrender and safety. The irresistible feeling of being completely taken care of and at the same time completely owned. And now I'm going to talk about what's so uniquely satisfying about being called mommy. You know, why I love taking on the role of Mommy Dom. So, in regards to being called mommy, it's not just the word itself. Although I will admit that hearing it, especially like when men tell me they whimpered mommy or, whispered it with desperation, that hits something deep. But what really makes it powerful is what it represents. So when someone calls me mommy, I know they're not just submitting to a kink. They are submitting to me. And in my mind, they're saying with one word, I trust you, I respect you, and I need you to guide me. And that responsibility, that that privilege, it turns me on every single time. I love being men's internet mommy because it lets me embody something that feels so natural and whole. I get to be soft, nurturing, feminine, but I also get to own you and shape you and command your thoughts with a smile and a whisper. I don't have to choose between being loving and being powerful. I'm both. And you may crave me because of that balance. And if you know me, I take submission very seriously. Like when someone opens themselves to me, even through a screen, I hold that space with intention. I'm not just playing a role, I'm being who I've always been. And I listen, I learn you, and I watch how you respond when I praise you and when I push you. And what I love most about being an internet mommy is the devotion. that might be the most addicting part of it. Like the way some of you would crawl metaphorically across broken glass just to make me proud. It's like I said, it's addicting. The quiet desperation that I imagine in your voice. Oh my God, the ache to please, the hunger for approval, and and then how it's just so easy. So easy for me to pull it all out of you with just a few gentle, deliberate words. I love it. And that's the delicious contradiction of Mommy Dom energy, I think, is I can destroy you with sweetness. I can train you with care. And when you obey, not out of fear, but because you need to make mommy proud, that's when it gets real. And I also love how deeply personal it becomes because the ones who kneel for me aren't doing it because I shout the loudest or demand obedience through force. They submit because they want to, because they need to, and because the version of themselves that blossoms under my control feels more alive and more complete. And I know, I know that for some of you, the secret devotion to a woman you call mommy is something you'd never, ever publicly admit. Yeah, like you'd be teased or shamed for it. And I love that because in this space with me, and I'm sure that others like fetishize this too, you're getting so weak for a woman and calling her mommy. It's very erotic to me to get a man to that point. Mm. And I also think that the men that I maybe draw in are coming to me because they want like structure, and they stay because they feel seen, because maybe because they know mommy doesn't just control you, she also cares for you and holds your weakness and turns it into worship. And that's what I love. I mean, that's what keeps me coming back file after file, message after message. It's the power, the intimacy. It's so fucking good. The complete surrender that I experience from men, and all just from hearing my voice say, "Good boy. Mommy's so proud of you." I mean, that's not just a kink. That's a connection, and I will never ever take that for granted. Okay, my darlings. We're going to start a segment that is going to be the real fun part. So, we're going to talk about why phrases like good boy or mommy's here make your stomach flutter. I'm going to show you the magic and then use it on you. I'm not just going to tell you about the power of mommy's voice, I'm going to show you. So consider yourself lucky. You're going to hear a live audio demonstration. I'm going to flex my mommy dom muscles, and then we're going to talk about the vibe, the tone, the words I chose afterwards. So here we go. Go ahead, baby. Lie down and breathe deep. Mommy's here. And you know, you don't get to think when mommy's talking. That's it. Let yourself sink. Let your muscles go loose. Your thoughts go quiet. Like that. Good boy. So sweet for me. So obedient. You love this, don't you? You love letting me take care of you. You love that soft, floaty feeling when I tell you exactly what to do. Because you need this. You need me. You crave the way my voice wraps around your mind like silk. The way I own every sigh, every shiver. And my darling, you want mommy to play with you tonight? What if I told you to arch that back for me? Or what if I told you to whimper my name? Or to melt under my words like warm wax, letting me reshape you into something even more perfect. And you'd do it, wouldn't you? Of course you would. Because nothing feels as good as pleasing me. So relax, my sweet thing. You look so handsome when you get so melty and relaxed. Let me take over. Let me tell you just how loved you are, how owned you are. And when I say you are mine, that's when you'll truly feel how deep this goes. Okay, a little taste of some Mommy Domme energy. So let's talk about and break down what I did. So when I pull on my Mommy Domme hat, I always make my voice a little bit more controlled, soft, and super warm. So that immediately cues you in. It kind of slows you down. It creates this already warm, buzzy feeling because my voice is slowed down. My voice is very steady, almost rhythmic sometimes. So that works its magic throughout the whole file. Now the words, mommy's here, that cues a flood of perhaps subconscious associations, especially for devoted good boys that are fans of Mommy Domme. It communicates safety, surrender, and kind of, when I repeat the word mommy, using mommy instead of a pronoun, it's kind of like a hypnotic anchor in a way, because the more I repeat it, the more I hope that your brain is like deeply linking mommy to that floaty owned feeling. Now, I included in there, of course, a couple good boys, I believe. And one in particular, I said, good boy, so sweet for me, so obedient. And that's that praise reward mind loop. So here's some science behind why praise can hook you. So it becomes like a dopamine hit. Hearing the phrase good boy, it kind of lights up the same pathways as like a slot machine win. Like unpredictable, but consistent or like in a pattern, um, but unpredictable. And those can become addictive. Like your subconscious is begging for it silently to hear more of that praise. And then a little conditioning trick, pairing praise with obedience trains you to crave more. So you'll start chasing the high like a puppy would chase for treats. So, like when I said, good boy, so sweet for me, so obedient. So I'm pairing that praise, good boy, with you being obedient. And so you're going to hopefully want to chase that more and more. Now, another little psychological cheat code I used was I said, you'd do it, wouldn't you? So it's a rhetorical question. And I'm a rhetorical question I'm kind of forcing you to answer internally because I say you'd do it, wouldn't you? And hopefully your brain just said yes. So also, right after then I said, of course you would. So just a little mm, gaslighting, if you will. I don't even want to call that gaslighting, but pushing you towards the answer I want and then giving reasoning. I say, because nothing feels as good as pleasing me. So I'm reframing, submitting to me as a privilege, not degradation. So you're not desperate, you're devoted. It's just a little cheat code I'm letting you in on. Um, but Mommy Domme can feel very seductive as well because it is so soft and feminine. It's and sometimes slow. Like, it's not so in your face like erotic. It's erotic. It's very slow and drawn out and um yeah. So that was your live demonstration. I hope you enjoyed that. In my opinion, the best erotic control almost feels like a lullaby in a way, soothing, rhythmic, and just inescapable. And sometimes it's not all about breaking you, it's about unlocking the part of you that wants to surrender. So feel free to go in the comments and tell me which phrase got you the most. Was it good boy? Was it the mommy's here? Or the moment you realize you'd beg for it all over again? So I hope you are feeling so soft right now, even a little floaty. And I hope that I've let you in some more about being an internet mommy and how it's not just about dominance or fantasy. In my world, it's about creating something real, a space where you can let go, where you can be seen and guided and cared for without shame. And I take this role seriously because I know how much it means to be trusted like this, to be your mommy dom. And it's not just a title, a feeling, a voice you crave when the world gets too loud, or even a presence you long for when you're desperate to be good. So if today's episode stirred something in you, if it made your heart beat a little faster, or it left you aching for more, I want to hear from you. Go ahead and message in the comments if you feel brave enough, or feel free to send me a message if we have a message open somewhere. And remember, I don't need to be in the room to be in your head. I'm your internet mommy Domme, and I'll always be here when you need me. And that's a wrap for this episode of The Slut Next Door, where we dive deep into the raw, unapologetic truths of human desire. If you loved what you heard today, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a juicy moment. Want to connect with me outside the podcast? Click the link in my bio where you can find lots of juicy content and options. Until next time, I'm Beatrix Vale, your Slut Next Door, and I'll see you in the next episode.